like we have talked about the installation, we have talked about materials, but there is repairs as well. And a lot of times when you show up at someone's roof, you haven't done the roof, but you are
Mhm.
there for the repair maybe, and you look at the issue that is there, and you immediately tell that this roof has been done by some newbie, and he isn't a pro. So what are the top mistakes that you see that the newbies make?
So with metal, it's a lot of the times it's the way that they're flashed at the wall abutments and the penetrations and the details. I'll start with standing seam a lot of the times, and you won't even be able to see it from the ground, but you'll go up top and there's that cut list I was talking about where there's a bunch of different panels and they're all different sizes, right? And, a lot of what I run into a lot is where that panel's barely short at the top to where it doesn't make it underneath the piece of C
Mhm.
flashing that's at the ridge, and you actually have a void and an opportunity for water to come in right back behind the panel. And a lot of times too, I've seen people use screws without gaskets
Mhm.
on the outside of the metal. So they'll use the pancake screws, the same pancake screws that we use to attach the clips and the metal underneath the system, and they'll use it on the exterior of the system, rather than using gasketed metal roofing screws or stitch screws to be able to put on pipe boots, or you know uh, most of the time what you're supposed to be using on the exterior of a standing seam metal roof is pop rivets, and that's usually the only penetration that goes to the roof. But I'll see people use screws without gaskets, pop rivets. I've also seen people, standing seam metal roofs are supposed to be a concealed fastener system. I've seen people screw through the top of the panel rather than using the clips that they're supposed to use, and that's not the way that they're supposed to do it. And one other thing too is we are only one of the only roofing companies in the state of Colorado that actually uses the clips that you're supposed to be using, and that's two-part butterfly clip systems. Okay, and my guys get aggravated with me because they have to put them together, and my supplier has to go and pick them up special for me, but they're clips that actually move and slide because lumber expands and contracts at a different rate from metal. That's why I'm not a fan of exposed fastener metal roofing systems, because metal moves at a different rate than lumber, expansion and contraction, and it backs those fasteners out. And in the same way, your house is going to be moving at a different rate than that metal. That sliding clip allows it to have a little bit of play in there as the roof expands and contracts, um, just to be able to, work more efficiently with the expansion and contractions. You're not going to have as many issues later on down the road. Um, so that the short panels, the exposed fasteners with no grommets, the slider clips is something that we do different from the rest. A lot of the times too, people will leave the hem off the panel, and that's where we cut off the bottom inch of either one of the ribs, and we fold the panel in to where it clips into that roofing system, whether it be, at an eave that's down by the gutter, that's the bottom portion of the roof, or in a valley. Some people cut the panels off straight, and that's not the way
Mhm.
you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to cut off an inch and then fold it into a cleat or to the metal down at the bottom. So that's just a small list of the things that we do differently, but there's a good amount of things that we could do differently. I mean, even like making your flashings large enough, and where most roofs leak, almost 100% of the time, it's never in the field. It's always at the wall abutments, the wall abutments, and the penetrations in the valleys. Okay, and those are the parts that people mess up the most, and that's where just that attention to detail really comes into play.